Hi friends, we are in chapter 6. We're looking at ratio, proportions, and similar figures. This is section 6.1 and we're dealing with ratios. Our only vocabulary word today is ratio, and that basically is a comparison of two quantities by division. I think that definition is a little bit slightly confusing. The division piece comes in when we look at the way we write it. Oftentimes we write ratios as a fraction. So let's take a look. If I said that when I play basketball, I could make approximately, let's use a pen that works, I could make 6 out of 15 shots. This is a ratio. So 6 shots made out of 15 shots tried. Obviously, my abilities at basketball are poor. However, let's kind of consider different ways that we can write it. We can say that this is 6 out of 15. We could say 6 to 15. Or we could write it down as 6 to 15. So these are 3 different ways that we can write a ratio. And the division piece comes into play in terms of the way we write this. And sometimes we actually do division, but we don't often use decimals for ratios to describe things. And what we often do is reduce them. So if I had a situation where I honestly made 6 out of 15, we'd reduce this to say, well, if for every 6 I can do 15, if I divide the top and bottom by, let's say, 3, that means for every 2 for every 5 I can make 2 shots. Does that make sense? Hope it does. Let's take a look at a couple of examples. There we go. We have an example that relates right to what we just talked about. It says express the ratio 12 baskets in 18 attempts as a fraction in simplest form. So we'll do exactly what we did, and I like writing it as a fraction. So the fraction line is when we use the fraction bar like this. So 12 over 18, and when we reduce it, we divide the top and bottom by 3. We get 4 out of 6, and I guess I should have divided it by 6. Actually, that was the better number, and so I'm going to divide this by 2, and I get 2 out of 3. So what does this mean? This is in simplest form, so this is the one we're looking for. Explain the meaning. It means for every 3 attempts, 2 shots are made. For every 3 attempts, 2 shots are made. Let's look at another example. Write ratios as fractions, so we're still doing the same thing. I'm going to see if I could make all of the problem visible, make this a little bit smaller. All right, so example 2, write ratios as fractions. 10 out of 30 Americans own a portable MP3 player. Express this ratio as a fraction in simplest form. So again, 10 out of 30. Reducing that, we get 1 out of 3. And explaining the meaning, it's simply 1. For every 3 Americans, there's one of them owns an MP3 player. And I think this really shows the datedness of our textbook, because I got this example from our textbook. I don't think that this is accurate at all. I'm sure the ratio is greater. Let's look at another example. Example 3, again, we're writing our ratios as fractions, but here's what I want to express to you. This problem looks decidedly simple. It says express the ratio 8 ounces to 3 pounds as a fraction in simplest form. So here, one will put 8 ounces to 3 pounds and feel that they are done. Leaving this as an improper fraction is totally cool. I don't want you to write it as a mixed number. That would be awkward. But the problem with this is simply the fact that I have ounces that are being compared to pounds. And the reason why this is a problem is because if you can make them the same units, you will do so. So we want to make them the same units. And in order to do that, we need to figure out how many ounces are in a pound so I can change this bottom one. I can't really change 8 ounces to pounds because I need 16 ounces, I'll use the abbreviation, to make 1 pound. Okay, I need 16 ounces to make a pound. So it doesn't make sense for me to change the top part into pounds, but I will change the denominator into pounds, or the bottom portion, into ounces. So what I need to do is multiply 3 times 16, because for every 1 pound, there are 16 ounces. Since I've got 3 pounds, I need to multiply that. So when I do that, I have 8 ounces, using the abbreviation at the top, over 3 times 16 is going to give me 48 over 48 ounces. So now, here is the true ratio that I need to be dealing with, ounces to ounces, same units. So now I can actually reduce this and some good things will happen. So this is 1 ounce to 6 ounces if I divide the top and bottom by 8, or I'm going to leave it as 1 to 6. So the fraction in simplest form is 1 to 6 and leave the ounces out. All right. Okay, friends, here is your first assignment of section 6.1, and I look forward to any questions or comments. That last example is one that you really want to pay attention to. If you don't know conversion factors, feel free to use the internet. I'll try to have a conversion chart for you guys available, or your textbook when you get to class to actually do the conversion. Have an excellent day.